Right now, somewhere in your house, a cat is watching you. It did not have to be there, no one forced it, and that small fact hides one of the strangest stories in the history of any animal on earth. You have been told that humans tamed the cat, that we chose them, just like we chose the dog. But the real answer is far stranger. Cats were never tamed, they tamed themselves, and they did it for a reason that has almost nothing to do with love. Picture the world about 10,000 years ago. Humans had just started farming. Wheat and barley grew in open fields. Grain needed to be stored, and stored grain meant one thing: mice, piles and piles of mice. Where there are mice, there are hunters. Wild cats in the Near East began creeping toward these new human settlements, not to be pets, not for company. They came for the rats and mice feeding on the stored grain. This is called self-domestication. No human went into the wild and captured a cat. The cat walked in on its own, following its food. A researcher named Carlos Driscoll studied the DNA of house cats around the world. He traced almost every pet cat alive today back to one wild ancestor, a desert cat that once lived in the Near East in the region we now call the Fertile Crescent. This single wild species is the great grandparent of your cat, no matter where you live today. Think about that for a second. Every cat curled up on a couch in every country on every continent shares roots with a shy desert hunter that decided human farms were a good place to find dinner. But here is where the story gets strange. Dogs changed a lot when they became part of human life. Their skulls got smaller, their behavior shifted, they became eager to please. Cats did almost none of that. A house cat today looks almost exactly like its wild ancestor. Its brain is barely different in size. Its hunting instincts are still sharp. You did not build a new animal, you just gave an old one a place to sleep. So why does your cat let you pet it? Why does it sit on your lap? A scientist named John Bradshaw spent years studying cat behavior. He found something surprising. Cats treat humans the same way they treat other cats. The slow blink they give you, the way they rub against your leg, the way they raise their tail straight up. These are all things cats do with other cats they trust. In other words, your cat is not pretending you are its owner. It has quietly decided you are a very large, not very graceful cat. Here is something else that might surprise you. Kittens meow to get attention from their mother. Adult wild cats barely meow to each other at all, but adult house cats meow constantly, almost only at humans. Some researchers believe cats have kept a kitten-like behavior specifically because it works on us. It gets us to feed them, to open doors, to pay attention. Your cat may have learned, generation after generation, that sounding a little bit like a baby gets results. Does that mean cats are using you? In a way, yes, but you are using them too. That grain that early farmers protected became civilization. Cities grew because food could be stored safely, and cats were part of what made that possible by keeping the rodents away. Ancient Egypt is where this relationship became something closer to worship. Cats were seen as protectors of the home, connected to a goddess named Bastet. Killing a cat, even by accident, could bring serious punishment. Families sometimes mummified their cats when they died, the same way they honored people. This was not just fondness, this was gratitude. Egyptians depended on grain, and grain depended on protection from small teeth in the dark. From Egypt, cats spread along trade routes. Sailors kept them on ships to control rats that chewed through rope and grain stores. A ship without a cat could lose its food supply halfway across the sea. So cats crossed oceans not as pets being carried along, but as workers doing a job. They arrived in new countries this way, quietly, port by port, spreading almost everywhere humans sailed. But not every culture welcomed them the same way. In parts of medieval Europe, cats were feared instead of honored. People linked them to superstition. Some were killed in large numbers during certain periods. Historians studying this era, including work referenced by researcher Irina Metzler, have pointed out how this fear may have had a hidden cost. Fewer cats sometimes meant more rats, and more rats meant diseases could spread faster through crowded towns. An animal that once protected human food supplies was, in some places, pushed away at the worst possible time. So the cat story is not one long path of humans loving cats more and more. It is a story of usefulness, fear, worship, and usefulness again. Through all of it, the cat itself barely changed. It never needed us to survive the way dogs eventually did. It could always walk away and return to hunting alone in the wild. In many ways, it still can. This is the part that makes cats different from almost every other animal living in our homes. A dog was shaped by thousands of years of human hands, bred for loyalty, for work, for companionship. A cat simply showed up, decided the deal was good, and never fully let go of its wild self. Even now, watch a house cat closely. Watch how it stalks a toy across the floor. Watch how it freezes, low to the ground, eyes locked. That is not a performance. That is the same hunting instinct its desert ancestor used 10,000 years ago. You did not remove the wild animal, you just gave it a roof. There is something oddly comforting in that. Your cat is not with you because it has to be. It is not bred into helplessness the way some animals are. If your home stopped being useful, in theory, it could leave. And yet, most of the time, it stays. It sleeps in the warmest spot in your house. It waits by the door when you come home. It chooses again and again to be near you. Maybe that is the real reframe here. We often think love means need. We think an animal choosing to stay only counts if it has no other option. But the cat flips that idea completely. It has options. It has instincts built for surviving without anyone. And still, it walks back inside every night. So the next time a cat curls up next to you, remember what that actually means. You are not looking at an animal that was captured, trained, or forced into affection. You are looking at a wild hunter that looked at human life 10,000 years ago, decided it was worth staying for, and never really left. Right now, somewhere in your house, a cat is watching you, and this time you know exactly why.